Even though it looks like the wave of the future, right now, buying an electric car might be out of reach for tens of millions of average Americans.
New this morning, Allie Hoxie has more on why these vehicles are so expensive and options to make them a little bit more affordable. We'd like to see those.
Yeah, absolutely, right? Well, for those of you who don't own an electric car, it might seem out of reach. For example, GM just announced their Hummer EV will have a starting price tag of around $113,000. The 2020 Tesla lineup ranges anywhere between $37,000 to $99,000. So the good news here is that you do have some options, but you're going to have to outweigh the pros and the cons.
And my husband actually owns one. He owns a Tesla.
Mary Neighbor tells me there are some benefits to having a Tesla.
One of the biggest pros is that you don't need to stop for gas, but you do have to charge it up.
Which brings us to some cons.
I really don't like that the battery runs out and it trails out. It's not the greatest in the winter when there's snow and ice and deep water because the battery's on the base of the car.
Here's the problem with electric cars. The batteries are horrifically expensive.
John McElroy is the host of Autoline, working in the auto industry for the last 40 years. He says the price of the battery, usually around $10,000, is what makes electric cars so expensive. That being said, there are ways to buy electric cheap, including a $7,500 tax rebate.
With the $7,500 U.S. federal tax rebate that you can get, you could probably buy a Nissan Leaf for about $25,000 to $27,000.
Another option, buying used.
You can buy used electric cars dirt cheap.
If you can cough up the money, McElroy says there is a long-term payoff, something for drivers to consider. According to a recent Consumer Reports study, fuel savings alone can be $4,700 or more in the first 7 years. Maintenance, also cheaper on electric, saving an additional $4,600 over the lifespan of the electric car, compared to gasoline cars, which require fluid changes and are more mechanically complex. McElroy predicts in the next 3 to 4 years there will be more electric car options, but don't expect a dramatic change in price. Until the electric battery becomes cheaper, prices will likely stay around $40,000 for your average new electric car.
So just to summarize here, it's really up to you to decide if these pros outweigh the cons, and there's a lot to take in and a lot to consider.